Welcome to Tzu Chi This week. I'm Terry Poo. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in these top stories, Tzu Chi volunteers mobilized to care for victims and their family members of the recent attack on the Taipei MRT system. Also in Taipei, Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers find their way into the homes of two seniors to give their house a thorough cleaning and basic repair. In Malaysia's Pontian, Tzu Chi volunteers establish a new recycling point inside a residential area to continue to spread environmental messages. On May 21st, an attack occurred on the Taipei Mass Rapid Transit System's Bannan Line, killing 4 people and injuring dozens. Victims of the incident have been transferred to various hospitals in the greater Taipei area. In response, close to 50 Tzu Chi volunteers mobilized to care for the victims and their distraught family members.
7 victims from the unprecedented attack on the Taipei Mass Rapid Transit System on May 21 remained in ICUs across the greater Taipei area. Medical staff work hard to free them from death's grip.
The stab onto her chest was very deep, which has resulted in pneumothorax and hemothorax.
We have mobilized all our staff, around 15 doctors and 20 nurses. This time we deployed twice our usual manpower.
At the Far Eastern Memorial Hospital, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived with peace charms for victim Xu Yajuan and her family. Still in ICU, Xu's 6-centimeter stab wound to her stomach also damaged her left liver.
We brought peace chimes to wish them peace and safety. We hope they will pull through this difficult time.
Almost losing a loved one, Yajuan's family have endured much emotional stress. However, Tzu Chi volunteers' care and support have brought them solace and comfort.
Yajuan's condition is getting better by the day, and she can write to communicate with her family. Seeing her daughter's improvement, the mom feels more comforted now.
Following the tragic accident, some 50 volunteers have mobilized to care for the victims and their families to help them walk out under the clouds of despair.
As the random attack occurred on the tram of the Taipei Mass Rapid Transit System's Bannan Line, one of the passengers on board, Li Donghan, helped his family and 20 other passengers escape from the incident unharmed. Let's take a look at his heroic act.
I had my child with me. All I thought about was finding a safe place to escape to.
Among the passengers that witnessed the random attack was 28-year-old Li Donghan, who is a firefighter in New Taipei City. On May 21st, Li and his wife were taking their 2-month-old daughter to receive a vaccination and encountered the tragedy on their way home. Back then, to save his family and other passengers from harm, as soon as Li got off at Jiangzi Station, he quickly rushed to the nearest emergency exit. His quick thinking not only saved his family, but also helped 20 other passengers escape safely.
I pushed open the door and ran upstairs to see if there was an exit. There was a cleaning lady there, and she told me that we can get out from this exit. I asked her to help me guide all the other passengers to a safe place.
Facing the first attack on the Taipei Mass Rapid Transit System since it went into service, although Li Donghan was able to escape unharmed, fear from the incident still lingers.
Everyone was screaming and in shock. No one thought that something like this would ever happen to them.
On Li's Facebook page, he says he still can't believe that he and his family went through such ordeal. However, thanks to Li's quick thinking, his family and 20 other passengers were able to escape unhurt.
Taipei is considered an affluent city. However, within it still lives many seniors in need of assistance. To help, Tzu Chi volunteers recently visited the houses of 2 seniors to give their home a thorough cleaning and basic repair. Thanks to the volunteers, the seniors' homes were given a fresh new look, and they were overwhelmed with immeasurable joy and love from the volunteers as well.
Today, staff members of the Tzu Chi Humanitarian Center are working in a different location. The staff members are here to help clean up the senior's home. Not one complaint is heard, as a total of 40 volunteers are here to help Tzu Chi Care recipient Mr. Zhu in giving his home a makeover.
This environment isn't suitable to live in. The area is dark and dirty. Coming, there's a strong smell of mold.
In the kitchen, volunteers are preparing 45 cakes for their care recipients, which include Mr. Zhu. Volunteers mix the batter, putting their entire heart and spirit into making the cake. Although the debris has been cleared, another problem arises as Mr. Zhu lives in a damp basement. Hence, on May 16th, volunteers returned to install a folding door between the bathroom and the bedroom in hopes of decreasing the overall humidity in the apartment. With a heart of gratitude, Mr. Zhu accepts the cake filled with love. This is one day he will never forget. While in Taipei's Wensan district, Tzu Chi volunteers are giving solitary senior Mr. Chen's cluttered and dirty home a makeover. The overwhelming stench of dog feces mixed with mold covers the entire home. Trash clear from the senior's home is relayed through a neighbor's house to a garbage truck waiting in front. This day of cleanup was a year in the making, as the borough head had to convince the senior to open up his heart and home.
He is very private. He doesn't like people knowing about his personal life. He's a bit prideful and afraid of losing face.
During their cleaning, Tzu Chi volunteers chat with the senior to get to know him better.
We wanted to come visit you, but we're afraid you wouldn't let us in. But now your home is clean and there is plenty of space to sit. You can invite us and we can chat and keep you company.
Volunteers also measure Mr. Chen's blood pressure and inquired about his health. Although the day of cleaning is over, the love and care of Tzu Chi volunteers, the borough head, and the seniors' neighbors is just beginning.
Also in Taiwan, Tainan Tzu Chi volunteers visited 59-year-old Mr. Dong to help him clean up his cluttered house. Thanks to the volunteers' efforts, Mr. Dong finally has a clean and safe place to live.
Busily cleaning out unwanted items, today Tainan Tzu Chi volunteers are giving care recipient Mr. Dong a makeover of his home. Knowing that the volunteers will be here to help, Mr. Dong's brother-in-law also arrived to lend a hand. 59-year-old Mr. Dong has been living on his own after a divorce some 10 years ago. Without a stable income, Dong couldn't afford rent or health care. When Dong was admitted to the hospital following a stroke, it was then that Tzu Chi volunteers came into his life, bringing love and assistance.
Living environments can affect the body and mind. If he doesn't have a clean and tidy environment, I don't think his health will improve.
After giving his house a thorough cleaning, we will bring a new bed. We want to encourage him to do his stroke recovery exercises.
This is plumber Mr. Ling, who happily installed a water heater for Mr. Dong free of charge.
Mr. Dong lives on his own, so I have set up an electric water heater for him because it is safer.
Thank you so much, Tzu Chi. I feel great because my house is very clean now.
Thanks to the volunteers' efforts, Mr. Dong's house is clean and tidy once again. In the future, the volunteers promised to accompany Dong and help him discover a new direction in life.
In Pontian of Malaysia's Johor, Tzu Chi had 4 recycling points, of which 3 were in schools. However, starting this year, students have to go to school on the weekend as well, so the 3 recycling points had to close down. Thankfully, volunteers established a new recycling point inside a residential area. Here's more.
An empty plot in Malaysia's Taman Pontian Jaya has become the gathering point for the community's environmentalists. Reborn as Tzu Chi's Jaya recycling point, many residents and foreign laborers who work here come to donate their recyclables on opening day.
We can take these and exchange them for money, which we then can use to help those in need, such as people who don't have enough to eat. So if there are more recyclables in your home, please bring them to our recycling point. When we go collect recyclables door to door, we found many people simply discard glass bottles. Had we not collected them, they would have been treated as trash and thrown away.
This is Tzu Chi Pontian Liaison Office's first recycling point inside a residential area. In the past, recycling points were located in local elementary schools. However, starting this year, the schools are in session on Sunday, which is the same day as Tzu Chi's Recycling Day. Therefore, volunteers had to find another venue. To promote the new location, volunteers called on each household to join them.
We started at 4:30 and it is now 7. So far, the reaction from the residents has been positive, as before they had to take their recyclables downtown, which was further away. This recycling point is closer.
Volunteers also take time to talk to passers-by about the new recycling point. That night, a tea gathering is held to explain the benefit of Tzu Chi's environmental mission to residents. Many are surprised to learn that the proceeds help poor dialysis patients pay for their treatment.
Next, we meet recycling volunteer Huang Xinxun, who started collecting discarded plastic bags from her local market. When she found out that out of the 18 billion plastic bags used per year in Taiwan, less than 10% of them are collected for recycling. At the start of her mission, she was often met with strange looks from the market goers, but that didn't stop her. Let's see how she turned the strange looks into strength to continue on her mission.
A sister asked me to attend an environmental lecture. There, I heard that Taiwan uses up 18 billion plastic bags a year, but the amount collected for recycling is not even 10% of that. Afterwards, every time I went to the market and saw discarded plastic bags, a voice would echo inside my head, "Why don't you pick them up and recycle them?"
That is how Huang Xinxun's path to collecting recyclables started. It is not easy to collect plastic bags from the traditional markets, as the environment is hot, humid, and dirty. And in dealing with strange looks, Huang had a mantra.
When dragging the cart behind me, I'd remind myself, Master Zheng Yan says a person needs to work and oxen needs to haul. So I just say to myself, just pretend you're an ox.
Without fanfare, Huang worked tirelessly at the Donghu Wufen market. However, her efforts did not go unnoticed by the vendors at the market.
The sister picks up recyclables, and I think she's doing a good job. I support her.
It feels good, otherwise all these bags will be burned in the incinerator, and that will cause a large burden on the planet.
Whenever I see the sister collecting recyclables here, it makes me feel warm inside.
From one lone soldier fighting the good cause to now a small army fighting together, many volunteers have come forward to help Huang on her crusade.
We can't bear to see her doing so much work.
It's our duty to help a little. I'm happy to do it. When it's time to come here, I will drop everything and come here.
I always say it's up to each person to do their part for planet Earth. We are helping to save people's health here.
Saving the planet one plastic bag at a time, Huang continues to do her part.
Recently in China, the Tzu Chi Foundation attended the 2014 Nanjing International Buddhist Cultural Items and Crafts Fair, promoting filial piety and happiness to fairgoers. Tzu Chi volunteer Xie Jiaxun and her mother also took part in the event to share their thoughts about filial piety with fairgoers.
Giving her mother a heartwarming hug is Tzu Chi volunteer Xie Jiaxun, who is also a famous master of ceremonies in Taiwan.
We need to spend more time with our parents and show them our filial piety before it is too late. This way, our children can learn by example and fulfill their filial duties too.
At the 2014 Nanjing International Buddhist Cultural Items and Crafts Fair, numerous fairgoers visited Tzu Chi's store to learn of the NGO's message of filial piety through Jinsi publications and a sign language performance. Tzu Chi's put on a sign language performance of the kneeling lamb to spread the message of filial piety.
We hope everyone can take their mother out for a walk when they are still able to do so. Our mothers love us very, very much, so we need to show our love to them and perform our filial duties before it's too late.
The more fairgoers visit our stall, the better, because we want to share our experiences with them. This way they can understand how through fulfilling filial duties can one find true happiness in his or her life.
As the event concludes, Tzu Chi's messages of goodness and filial piety will undoubtedly continue to spread far and wide in China.
In northern Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers organized 3 separate tea gatherings to celebrate Mother's Day. During the events, participants seized the opportunity to express their filial piety to their mother. But first, we go to Kaohsiung's Minzheng Elementary School, where students also pay their respects and love to parents. Let's take a look.
Listening attentively to the sign language performance of the kneeling lamb are students of Minzheng Elementary School in Kaohsiung. Today, Tzu Chi volunteers are providing these youngsters with an opportunity to show their gratitude towards their parents. Upon reading their children's cards, many parents' eyes begin to fill with tears.
Thank you.
I will love you forever.
Tzu Chi volunteers also encourage one student whose mother could not attend today's gathering to give her a call.
Our students are very innocent, yet their mature behavior has left their parents at ease. This is thanks to the Tzu Chi volunteers' continued assistance.
At the end of the day, students come to realize the depth of their parents' love, while parents experience firsthand their children's love in return.
My mother passed away on March 10th. Looking back, I realized how much she had done for me.
Thinking of her mother, Wu Zhenxuelin can't stop tearing up. At this tea gathering, participants are seizing the opportunity to express their filial piety.
为妈妈献上一杯孝亲感恩茶，请奉茶，来端给妈妈。
I wish our mothers good health, peace, and happiness.
Meanwhile, in Yonghe District, New Taipei City, youngsters go to a local recycling station to learn not only about recycling, but also the meaning of filial duties.
Tzu Chi aunties and uncles at the recycling station have been taking care of our children. Therefore, we hope they can show their gratefulness to the volunteers by serving them tea. They are all happy to attend such a meaningful event.
In Xinyi District, Taipei City, volunteers put on a short skit to display the challenges of being a mother.
We need to dedicate our lives and wisdom to reciprocating our mother's love.
Although I do sometimes have arguments with my mom or disobey her, I still love her from the bottom of my heart.
To encourage more people to protect the planet, on May 18th, Tzu Chis in 12 different countries held various environmental events, from beach cleaning to sorting recyclables. Next, we follow in Taiwan Tzu Chis' footsteps and see what they did to show their love for our Mother Earth.
After saying environmental slogans, Kaohsiung Tzu Chis are ready to begin their day by sorting recyclables. This is high school student Chen Zhihao, who despite the hot and humid weather is determined to contribute his share.
Our planet is suffering. We can lessen the burden on it if we practice recycling.
Accompanying those attending the event is National Sun Yat-sen University student Tan Yuanwei, who was inspired by Tzu Chi's philosophy of nothing is impossible when doing good deeds. To spread Tzu Chi far and wide, Tan has been seizing every chance to introduce the Buddhist NGO to those around him.
Tzu Chi's philosophy of practicing recycling is not superstition. There are many scientific facts that support our actions. We need to let members of the public understand the reason behind practicing recycling and inspire them to join our ranks.
Meanwhile, in New Taipei City, Tzu Chis and members of the public held a beach cleanup day at the Shimen Kite Park to show their love for the planet. Despite currently serving in the military, Tzu Chi alumnus Yan Zhixiao seized the weekends to attend the beach cleaning event.
As a substitute civilian serviceman, I'm able to go out during the weekend. I think it is great to have the chance to attend such a meaningful event. That's why I decided to come here to accompany the Tzu Chis.
I want to clean up the beach because I want to safeguard our planet.
We want to return this beach to its original look.
To encourage members of the public to safeguard our planet and cherish resources, more than 800 Tzu Chis and Tzu Chi volunteers arrived at the Taichung City Hall. By using a social network's check-in function, Tzu Chis hope to spread their environmental messages far and wide.
When we use the check-in function, our friends can see that we are protecting the planet. I think it will inspire them to follow suit.
We need to unplug all the unused appliances and shut off the lights when we go out. We can save a lot of electricity by doing so.
Thanks to Tzu Chi's effort, more and more people are realizing the importance of cherishing resources and safeguarding our Mother Earth.
We go to Malaysia at the end of our show. Residents of Mayang Jaya residential area recently opened their own community-based recycling station with most of the building materials made of recyclables. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching Tzu Chi This Week. Goodbye.